Okay, welcome to episode 6 of KameCast, you fellow YouTubers and Twitch VOD watchers. Actually, earlier than I was expecting to do this one, and the topic has actually changed as well. We were going to do netplay, but we're going to say that for episode 7. But I'm joined by Mr. C4IQ, and we are going to be discussing a clip from a fairly well-known person in FGC, the Purple Sharpie, known for Skullgos, gameplay and commentary. And we're just going to be discussing a clip in which she talks about pornographic companies being in the FGC in terms of like sponsoring players and how they used to be present in FGC a few years ago, or about 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago or something, and whether or not they should come back and actually have a place or not. So yeah, that's where we'll start the stream or podcast off with the clip, the context, and then C4 and I will say how we feel about what was said and probably expand on it a little bit.
Yep.
Cool. So here is the clip.
And the FGC have absolutely...
Please, Twitter, play the clip. Alright, we have to refresh the page. Hold up.
Esports takes all kind of dirty money. At least porn is honest about it. No. Here's the thing. Porn sponsorships in the FGC have absolutely no place here. If the FGC ever wants to be welcoming to women, they will not accept sponsorships from pornographic companies or by other companies that make money off porn. Primarily. They would never, ever do that. And the fact that there was a point in time when the FGC did have sponsorship from YouPorn and from Brazzers is literally just a slap in the face to every single woman in the community. And I don't give a fuck about that at all. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can get whoever the fuck you want or another fucking lady in here to go ahead and say some shit about how fantastic it was for the community and how much money y'all made off of it. But at the end of the motherfucking day, y'all cannot for a single goddamn second say that this community is open to everyone. And this community is open and available for anybody to play, and then accept money from an entire company that exclusively makes money off of exploiting women. Off of weak women. Like, that shit is so fucked up. And the fact that I even have to have this conversation in 2019 and I have to tell people that that's why it's fucked up means that we as the fighting game community have not gone far enough to make sure that women are empowered in here.
Cool. So that's the clip.
That's hard to listen to. There's so many things.
Oh man.
There's so many points.
Alright, let's be civil though about it and
Yeah, cool.
Oh, because obviously we are two men talking about this.
Yes.
And it's obviously not gonna, like, from the get-go, us talking about it is already gonna be like, you know, controversial.
Yeah.
You know, without
I get that.
We already have the fear of being cancelled or being labelled as misogynistic, hating women, this, that.
But do you know what? Facts don't give a fuck about that shit. Facts don't discriminate. They don't care about your opinions or your feelings. So, I mean, that's how I'm going to look at it. Yeah. Like, I think, for the context, Sharpie's obviously talking from not experience in the porn industry, but as in emotionally, she's talking about it because she's a woman who's had to deal with messed up stuff in the FGC, which is a fact. Like, that happens.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think the emotions from that is playing into the comments about pornography in the FGC, which I don't think have much weight.
Right.
Nah, yeah.
So if we go through the clip again, I guess we'll just dissect it like second by second, point by point that she makes. Yeah. And then so we go through the clip.
No, here's the thing. Porn sponsorships in the FGC have absolutely no place.
Okay, so porn sponsorships in the FGC have no place, she says.
Here. If the FGC ever wants to be welcoming to women, they will not accept sponsorships from pornographic companies or by other companies that make money off porn.
Okay, so she says if the FGC wants to be accepting or welcoming to women, then they wouldn't accept sponsorships from pornographic companies.
Where's the line, innit?
I don't understand. Yeah, where is the line? I think you have a different point, but my point is that, okay, so what if there is a woman who does porn. She chooses to do porn, and she also plays fighting games. And the porn company that she works for says, "Hey, we want you to go to this fighting game tournament or convention. You know, play exhibition matches with these people, your fans, etc., etc. And then, you know, do a joint sort of, you know, whatever sponsorship thing with this company, blah 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 blah." And you know, the woman likes what she does. Everyone on Twitter is sex positive, so you know, do your thing, empower the woman. It's your body, you do what you want, blah blah blah, all this, all that. Is she allowed to join the FGC or do tournaments or not? That's my point with this. What about women who are for this? Because you aren't the only woman in the FGC, and I'm sure women in the FGC watch porn. So where is
to be
the
fair,
line?
she doesn't say she doesn't watch porn. She just says she doesn't want the FGC in the porn in
the
FGC.
FGC.
But yeah.
But I agree. I don't think it should be. But I think the reasoning is a bit off. I don't think someone wouldn't be welcoming to women because of that. I don't think it's not welcoming to women to not want to talk about porn or have porn sponsorships.
Yeah. Like, not having porn in the FGC doesn't make the FGC more appealing to women. I don't think.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm not a woman, but I think that's not an issue. I don't see that being an issue or like a barrier for a woman to want to start playing fighting games.
Otherwise, there would be no women in porn, surely. If women didn't want porn, women wouldn't. Obviously, you do get exceptions where people are trafficked, people are they don't have a choice, or their stuff is put up without their permission. Obviously, there is those kind of scenarios. We're not talking about, obviously those kind of scenarios should be shunned and they shouldn't exist. But
we're talking about pornographic companies.
For like Brazzers, who are like a professional company. Everyone's contracted. No one's there because they don't want to be there. You know, for me, it doesn't make sense to say that those kind of companies shouldn't be sponsoring women or even men in the FGC to be there, because it's not welcoming to women, because women are in it by choice. But, I think there was 2 points. One I remember is, if I'm assuming here what her angle is. If her angle is, pornography is over 18, so it's not welcoming to children, for example, I agree with that, yeah.
That I'll be like, okay, but then you cannot mention MK at any event.
Absolutely.
There's so many over 18 games, not even fighting games. You can't, if you cut them out, say Sonic Fox is playing Dragon Ball Z, are you allowed to mention Sonic Fox because he is known for MK?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's also very sex positive. Or if anyone follows his Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Or even, this is a bit of a reach, but I'm gonna go with it. If you look at Skullgos, there's a lot of panty shots there.
There are a lot of panty shots, you're not lying.
So, I mean, that's what I was saying. That's why I started off like this point with the line.
Oh, when you think about it, Skullgos has a lot of fan service.
Very. Like, it's very westernized as well, like in the art style and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's there. Like, can we not? I'm not gonna lie. Can we not play Cammy on screen?
That's a pretty big part of it. I'm not gonna lie.
For some people, I've been on DeviantArt, right? Like, I love the game. Like, I've always promoted that game. Mechanically, it's sick.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, I pick Beowulf and RoboFortune because that's not my thing. Like, my thing isn't girls looking a certain way. It's not really my thing. I get it, and it's fine for people that like that. But I know for like Street Fighter 5, they took out like a part of Mika's super because it was over sexualized. Like I'm sure it was something to do with her butts in your face or something like that.
Oh, I actually remember that. I actually remember like a few months ago. I remember, isn't it when her and her like teammate or whatever?
Yeah.
They hit you. They both slammed their butt into your face, into your head or something.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they took it out.
Man.
I think that got taken out. Yeah. But you still got people like Poison. You still got people. Chung Lee's Boo Physics. You still got Cammy. Like, there is basically because of
all she did was slap her butt apparently.
And what, they took out the butt slap?
Yeah, apparently.
So if that isn't allowed, if you just look at the roster of like Blaz, that's all I'm saying. Just look at the roster of characters in other games.
Yeah.
And then see how sexualized that
and
is.
Yuri, yeah. Yuri is literally built off a foot fetish, to be honest. Let's be real.
I like Yuri.
On to the next part.
I wouldn't. I'm just saying. I probably wouldn't have played Street Fighter 4 as much as I did if Drew wasn't in it.
Yeah. I mean,
not for the feet.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, right?
That's me. But yeah, that like the point is like the line is so blurry.
Yeah.
To only go, oh, not this thing, but that thing. You can say, well, no one can be sponsored by Domino's because it'll make you fat if you eat too much of it. Like, and it's unhealthy and it's not good for kids. They should be running around in carrot sticks. Like, you know what I mean? The line is too blurry. The line is too blurry to be saying this thing can't be in it, but everything else can.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For that reason anyway. But yeah.
So, I guess the other reason is for females, which again, like you said, we're not women, so we can't.
Yeah, we can't judge.
We can have an opinion, but we can't judge. Yeah, but I think factually and logically, we can say, well, not all women see it as a problem as Sharpie does. So to say, I'm speaking for all women, even though they might not agree with me, she kind of does say it. She says, "Oh, bring any woman, and I'll tell them they're wrong." And I'm like,
because there are a lot of women. So go on.
I was about to say, just she's clearly saying like she is talking for her gender, even though people of her gender might not agree with her.
And I think a lot of women in the FGC do nude cosplay. They do sell their nudes. They do this. They do that, and they're in the FGC, and that's what they're in the FGC. That's what they're known for in the FGC. And it's like, okay, well, are they being exploited? Are they what's it called? Are they weak? Are they all this or that? Although I guess she says that stuff later on, but you know, it's like not everyone who is in pornography is weak or being exploited. So, for carrying on with the video, she then
primarily
says,
they would never, ever, ever, ever do that. And the fact that there was a point in time when the FGC did have sponsorship from YouPorn and from Brazzers is literally just a slap in the face to every single woman in the community.
So it's a slap in the face to every woman in the community, and I'm sure it's probably not, because there are some women. I mean, I'm sure women watch those sites or have subscriptions to those sites. I think
that would be the most reasonable assumption I've ever heard in my life, if you said that.
I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions, but I think it wouldn't be unbelievable if a woman told me, "Yeah, I have a Brazzers subscription."
I think it'd be more unbelievable if
they didn't.
If no woman had it, that would be more unreasonable than saying, I'm sure some do. We're not even saying the majority or minority or anything.
I'm sure at least one. At least, not even one. There must be like, I think a good majority, to be honest. I don't think a lot of them would say it, but I think there would be a good majority that do have it. But,
it's a bit weird. It's a very like passionate statement.
Yeah.
That's obviously driven by emotions, which
isn't always a bad thing.
Fair.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. But it's when people challenge it with facts, and then it kind of deters away from her point. Because obviously her point is from a good place. Right. She wants people from all races, ages, genders to play fighting games. So that's cool. I'm all about that. But it's just the way she's gone about it in this particular clip. That's troubling because it's more exclusive than inclusive.
Right. So, carry with the clip, and
I don't give a fuck about that at all.
It's just she doesn't give a fuck. I think anytime someone says they don't want to talk about something or to give a fuck about anything, it's not a great. If you're not willing to talk about something, a point you've made with anyone, or like I don't give a fuck about your opinion and whatever, it's normally not something you should say, or it's wrong, because it's like.
It's something you can't defend, right?
It's something you can't defend. Yeah.
I believe it because I believe it. Yeah. There's no reason, there's no facts. I can't convince you, but I believe it, so
because I know for me, and I've seen Papa Sharpie as well be like this as well. I've seen it be like, oh yeah, if you guys want to talk about Skullgos, I'm talk about it. We can talk about why it's the best game, blah blah blah. Like when you know something's right and you can defend it, you want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a conversation about it. You want to open up the floor, and you want to prove it to people. So I think taking this stance is not the best for her.
Fuck, y'all can get whoever the fuck you want.
Nah.
Or another
it's
fucking
just like
here.
general how you debate or have a conversation when you give up reasoning or giving evidence to what you're saying by saying I don't care. Yeah. Then it's just like, well, why is anyone else meant to care?
Yeah, exactly. Why should I care about them? Why should I care about them being in there? Why shouldn't I just let them? Who cares? I don't care. You shouldn't care.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of taken away from a point, which is from a good place, but she's taken away from it. She's not defending it.
To go ahead and say some shit about how fantastic it was for the community and how much money y'all made off of it, but at the end of the motherfucking day.
So she's talking about how she doesn't think it being how much money it gave to the community isn't a good thing. However, major shareholder, as we all know, a major shareholder of EcoFox is a racist, and they have tried to. They had a whole thing with Rick Fox being about to leave the company, but they were trying to get Rick Fox to stay and having the other major shareholder leave. But they're still like in rough ships with it. But you know, the Kill Sage, Sonic Fox are part of EcoFox, and they've also been like, hey, we need to get this guy out. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like it's going. I'm not sure exactly what the situation is, but at the moment, it seems like it's kind of come to a pause. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but in that case, we need to also be getting those kind of. You can't just be trying to get porn out of FGC. You should also be trying to get racist out of FGC. And I'm not saying she probably is. Obviously, I mean, given how passionate she is about this, I would bet money she probably is. You know, against that as well. But you know, you have to, obviously you have to fight all fronts. I would say if you're gonna pick, you can't just pick and choose, basically.
Yeah. All types of discrimination is bad. Like, and I think it's not cool to say like degrees of how bad something is, because I'm thinking, okay, the EcoFox thing is one thing because it's one person out of a group, right? Even though it's a shareholder, it's one person,
right?
With porn, I just don't believe they're all being exploited, so it's a section. Now, if I don't know, Shinakuma 69 was sponsored by the cartel, I would be like, all of that's bad, right? That's all got to be bad money,
right?
That's all like drug laundering and all that sort of stuff. And but then, if I stand by the point of, everyone is welcome to the FGC, who am I to self-appoint myself as head and chief of the fine game community and say you're not allowed to have that sponsor?
Right.
Like, I don't think there's no government body in the FGC compared to like other sports, right? So no one has the final say. That's why you see people who get banned from one tournament and then there has to be like a chain effect. Every other tournament has to ban.
Yeah.
There's no government body saying you can't go to any tournaments in the world. Like, that can't happen because we don't have that. Yeah. So again, it just goes back to there's no line. What's acceptable to have from a sponsorship when technically it has nothing. The player has nothing to do with the sponsorship, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like if I go to a tournament and I'm sponsored by Adolf Hitler Jr., right? He's the problem, not me. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, yeah, to some degree. Obviously, if you knew someone was racist, you probably wouldn't accept sponsors from them. But yeah, it is.
But he sponsored me.
Yeah,
it's not that racist.
Yeah. Sorry, we just had an idiot in chat talking about being rude to the Purple Sharpie. Guys,
what?
Some idiot was saying something about the Purple Sharpie. Guys, while we are debating her opinion on this and what she said, please don't disrespect or have any disrespectful comments towards her. Please.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not bad.
It's not an attack on her. All right, let's just not be dickheads. Please be decent human beings and let's have a good conversation. Thank you. Okay, so
y'all cannot for a single goddamn second say that this community is open to everyone. Yeah. Open to everyone, and this community is open and available for anybody to play.
Okay, so now she's making a point.
Open to everyone, and this community is open to everyone.
Open to everyone.
Open to everyone.
And saying how we can't say it's open to everyone. This community is
open and available for anybody to play, and then accept money from an entire company that exclusively makes money off of exploiting women.
Makes money off exploiting women.
Right.
And I just think that's not true in a lot of cases, especially the big companies, right? Especially the big companies. Like, you go. I mean, I'm not speaking from experience, so I could have it wrong. But as far as I'm aware, you choose if you know, for the big companies, right, Brazzers, etc. You say, okay, cool, I want to work for this company. I'd imagine the process from the first decision to actually getting there is probably something like this, right? Okay, cool, I wanna do porn. All right, how do I get in there? Okay, cool, auditions, practice, blah blah blah, this, that. Okay, cool. I've got in touch with Brazzers executive or whatever, or the director. Hey, I would like to work for your thing. Okay, cool. Come for the audition. Do this, do that. Okay, here's your contract. This is what we want you to do. This is how long you're gonna work for us. This is how much money you're gonna get. This is how many scenes you have to do. Right? That's how I'd assume it goes. So they would probably know what they're getting into. I think. I would assume.
Yeah, like, other than obviously the extreme examples of what you're saying about trafficking,
yes.
It is a choice, right?
Yes.
It is a choice.
Obviously, other than the extreme cases where the woman doesn't want to do it.
You're not accidentally going to an interview in McDonald's and then ending up on the bed. Like, you're going to them for a purpose, or they might approach you,
right?
And then you can say yes or no. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah,
that's how I agree with it. Obviously, there are, exceptions to every rule.
And once you're in the industry, it might get peaked.
Yes, but
once you're in it, yeah.
That's the same with a lot of jobs. That's the same with office jobs.
Yeah.
They might exploit you for the time that you're working. They might exploit you They could exploit you in the same way as they're doing porn in office jobs. Really, truly.
I mean, I used to do like labouring, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll pay you this week," and then they'll pay me like later. That's exploiting me because I'm working, thinking I'm going to get money, and I didn't get the money when I was told.
Right. Exactly. So yeah.
But I can't stop working because I know I won't get any of the money that way. So
yeah, I'm
forced to work for money that I was owed.
Should have already had, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So exploiting it's a very not vague, but it's loose. It's like a loose word.
Yeah.
Like exploiting can be like on a very big scale. Yeah. So, and only exploiting women, I'm sure maybe, I don't know the percentage, I'm not even going to guess, but men work in porn as well.
Men work in porn and they get less money. A lot less money on average. So, but yet they're still doing the same job.
If that's not unfair, then give me a cross-up box, mate.
Can deep? Yeah, so like, if there's exploited, this is something we've even mentioned. Yeah, men work in porn as well. I mean, there's gay porn, there's girls who fuck guys, there's guys who fuck girls. There's all kinds of porn, and it's not just horses. Girls. There's horses. Oh my!
I guarantee the horses aren't getting paid. That's exploitation.
Please don't go there, bro.
Okay.
Come on.
Alright, allow it.
So yeah, there's all kinds, right? And a lot of it isn't fair, especially for the guys in terms of money. So
yeah,
I don't think you can rule out everything. Of course, yeah, we do know there are some exploitations, but for big companies like Brazzers and other companies like whatever, I don't know what others. I actually can't remember any other sites. But yeah, those would probably not. I mean, I'm sure that maybe they do on some level, but I'm sure they do I'm sure there's some exploitation going on at Equifox or Evil Geniuses or whatever. You name it. Every major big company has some form of exploitation going on.
I think at that level, it's just called a hustle, isn't it?
Pretty much.
That's what it's covered up as. Like, a hustle is exploiting something.
Right.
Whether you're undercutting someone or you're saving money here.
Yeah.
It's just vague. Exploiting seems like a very, bad term, and, it has to be stopped. But
it's really easy to say that, to, buff up your point. But it happens everywhere. And you're not trying to tackle it everywhere, so you can't really use it, I feel,
as a defense for this. Yeah, I agree.
Especially when both genders get exploited. So it is what it is. So we carry on with the video.
Off of weak women, that shit is so.
This part is the part that probably triggers me the most when she says that weak women. When she says off of weak women.
The floor is yours, man.
I don't think. No, I'm not even gonna go too ham, but I don't understand. I'm sure she has friends who sell nudes and do this and do that, right? And I wouldn't. Would she call them weak? I don't understand. Like, why? Because I thought, you know, women being, or rather being, not being a woman, but, you know, empowering women was about letting women do what they want with their bodies. Some women like to cover up. Some women like to show a bit. Some women like to show everything. And why is a woman weak just because she works in porn? Sure, if you're talking about the ones who are being exploited, sure, of course. The ones who are being trafficked, yes, of course. That's
when I heard it, that's exactly what.
Right.
The women that like don't have a choice, they're stuck in a bad situation. Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But there are
you
also
and Dunk. Yeah. No, I was about to say you and Dunk brought up the other way that the word weak could be meant as.
Yeah. I just think it's a bad word to use. I just think it's just not a good word to use. Like,
vulnerable would have been better.
Yeah, vulnerable would have been a lot better, I think. If that's the way she was going. If that is the way she was going, then yes, I agree, of course. We shouldn't be supporting companies who are not just vulnerable women, but vulnerable men as well. You shouldn't be supporting companies that take advantage of that. And we knowingly know they take advantage of that. However, that obviously happens in every aspect or every, big job company type of thing. And there's not really much we can do about everything. If anything, it would be better to make that contact with those kind of companies and then, and then be like, hey, let's see what we can do to help you guys. Is there anything we can do to help? Surely that would, I don't know, maybe that would be a better solution. I mean, obviously you can't solve every problem in the world, but I think it would be a good start. But
generalizing all porn as the seedy, dark stuff, when clearly they can't all be doing that. There's obviously a million different comparisons you could do with other things like religion, race, and say, oh, well, a few of you do this, none of you can enter. Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy, right?
Right.
You literally just can't go about life like that.
Pretty much.
Let alone in the FGC, which is kind of dark in itself.
Yeah. What did you guys do to Johnny? What did Slade say, guys?
He said something about a POV, and I kind of assumed the rest of it.
Alright, don't retype it, Slade. Don't retype it. Just don't bother.
Stop.
Alright, carry on with the video.
And the fact that I even have to have this conversation in 2019 and I have to tell people that that's why it's fucked up means that we as a fighting game community have not gone far enough to make sure that women are empowered in here.
Haven't gone far enough to make sure that women are empowered. And I would agree with the last part that, it's still a work in progress. And this might be something we never stop working on. But I just disagree with the points that she made about not having pornographic companies in the FGC. I do think that they shouldn't be in here in the FGC because it's actually kind of it's kind of contradictory, but at the same time not, because, well, actually I guess it kind of is, because we say MK is allowed and we let MK be on the big screen, be on Twitch, be on all this. And there's people getting their guts cut out. There's people being split in half, burned alive, poisoned alive, bugs sprouting from people's chests. And we're not even showing porn at FGC events, but we just want the name. Literally, some dude wants to have Brazzers as his prefix as he enters the tournament, and we're saying that's not allowed.
Yeah, BZR. And you got to think, we're in an era where people are still, actually, I'll say era, it's from time. Games are causing kids to fucking go mental and start shooting up people, and it's like, but MK's alright.
I wouldn't say it's the games causing that.
No, but that's the era that a lot of people outside of gaming think.
Oh, right.
They think that, like on the news, people are saying like, oh, games are a bad influence. People, like, you've got like 10-year-old kids. Well, no, how old is that guy that won the Fortnite thing? Like, it was like super young, like 17 or something. He's like a millionaire now, and because he is playing a game where you shoot other people.
Right.
There's everyone just step back and then think about how bad porn could be to someone underage to a game where you're shooting people.
Yeah, it's
like,
yeah.
If there's a fight to be fought, fine, but there's way bigger culprits than porn. There's way bigger culprits than porn.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel empowering like women in FGC, like you said, that's perfectly fine. I'm definitely not against that. Like I think more power to you, do that, but stopping a group of people or companies coming into the FGC isn't going to solve that problem.
Right.
I feel, I'm not a woman, so I can't, I'm just assuming, but I can't see a woman saying, oh, when it happened, like I remember there was a Rose player, I can't remember his name. It was a Rose player that got sponsored by YouPorn, and there was like 3 or 4 of them. And I can't imagine a woman having to play him and going, I'm not playing you because you're sponsored by YouPorn. I can't see it. I just can't see it.
Right.
Or I'm not coming back to this event because YouPorn's here.
Yeah.
And to be fair to MK, they normally have their tournament in, like, when we went to Versus Fighting, they had it in a room that was like, the windows were blacked out. So they were still at the event, but they were somewhere else. But then on the last day, top 8, they were in the Odeon. So I can't imagine what MK. It probably looked pretty sick if you're in, like someone getting hit with a fatal blow on a massive Odeon screen is probably gas for some people. But
so if you look at the tweet that I just linked you, or Dunk linked us in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, your reaction is going to be interesting to this one.
Oh, whoa. I agree with the visual. Do you want to read it out to the stream?
Yeah, sure. Anita mentioned that she considered the game sexist a while back. I agree that the visuals of the game aren't super female positive, but I still enjoy the game. It's unfortunate Anita didn't share my sentiments. That's all I'm saying on my main. So she wants to say more on her private account, which I think is pretty whack. Just say it. Say it with your chest, innit? I don't know. I've never understood the point of having a private account. It seems mad, like
shadow tweeting and sort of stuff.
Mad whack, bro. Mad fucking whack.
I mean, this is like what you said at the beginning, right?
This is the same person that said, if you touch me twice in Skullgos and I'm still alive, don't talk to me. Bruv, if you're saying that with your chest, why aren't you just saying everything you believe in with your chest? Or just don't open your mouth in the first place?
Yeah, and like, that was a sick comment to make. Like, who's going to tell you shit if they can't hit you, if they don't kill you in 2 hits?
I agree with that, completely.
Yeah, same.
It's like, bruv, don't be like, I mean, I'm sure Sonic Fox probably has a private account as well. I think he actually does.
I think that's for a different reason, though.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Let's not go there. But I think, personally, having private accounts is like kind of whack to me. Just say, I mean, I guess them is like private chats, right? I guess it can just be like a private chat, but in that case, just have a private chat on WhatsApp or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, she. So Skullgos sexism. I think if you're okay with Skullgos being in front of children of all ages and women and all that, I don't understand what's wrong with. I mean, I guess they're saying they're not exploiting women, right? I'm sure some people have bought Skullgos because there are boobs. I'm sure there must be someone who bought Skullgos because boobs tickle.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I remember reading something about a lot of Skullgos community are kind of like from DeviantArt, and there's a lot of people that are into the lore more than like the game,
right?
Like the story mode stuff, and you could probably compile maybe half or less than that. They're into it because of we've played the game, man. Me and you have played the game. Yeah. A lot of people in the chat have played the game.
Have I played the game though? Or just team-mode?
Sorry, yeah, you've team-mode. You've got the game. Why did you purchase the game? That's the question. Why did you buy the game?
Because you said it was. Oh, I got a follow. Appreciate the follow. Thanks, guys. The reason I got the game was because you said it was really good and it had really cool mechanics, and the training mode was amazing. So I tried it.
Yep, that's good. I just hope that Mike Z.
What'd you say?
I hope Mike Z sees that and sees that I'm doing the Lord's work. I'm getting people to play your game because it's a good game. It's a good game, and we just bypassed the panty. I told you it was in it. I told you there was panty shots in it. Yeah, and I was like, you might miss it, and I was like, when you see one, you'll see them all. And I told you 3 frame there, bang, do Krant's medium kick with X character. You'll see it, and that's all you'll ever see. You play Cerebella. She has the most blatant one.
Yeah.
The most blatant one.
I did also see. There is also Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is a game. I don't have that, so.
Yeah, so you're not. Yeah,
I'm not in it for the panty shots, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to disgrace your character.
And I also play Dragon Ball Fighters, which is 90% male.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
we're introduced streaming
actually
for half an hour.
Ban Broly, bruv. Too much test.
Bam. No hair either.
Nah, but jokes aside, memes aside, yeah, I just think it's a bit. It's just picking and choosing, really. I feel like, if anything, I think it should be fine for those reasons. To be honest, to be sponsored.
It's basically someone driving a car and then telling someone, "Oh, you shouldn't use spray deodorant cans because you're damaging the environment." Like, you can't do that. Like, well, you can technically, but they're gonna look at you thinking like,
"Oh, is this guy crazy?" Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you've got to kind of, if you've got a position or like an agenda or a belief, you have to push it 100%. You can't be half-hearted. You can't like pick and choose like you've been saying.
The only problem I have with it is that she says it's not female positive, and it's like, but females that you know on Twitter in the FGC post lewds on a regular out of their own volition.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, not a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot. There's some cosplayers that are they're more leaning towards.
So say again, they cut out.
There's a lot of cosplay. Sorry, not a lot. There's some cosplayers that are leaning towards the lewd side over. I love this character, and this is me showing my.
I mean, a little bit. I think they're leaning a lot to the lewd side.
Okay, I don't want to say because I don't follow that many cosplayers.
I wouldn't say. I mean, I don't either. But I wouldn't say there's not a lot of them. I'm saying that the ones that do it, some of
the successful ones,
the successful ones are mainly in it for doing it because of the lewd factor.
Yeah, mate. If you look at some of their patrons, they are. I'm so sorry to say this, but they're not getting exploited. It's so the other way around. The guys are getting exploited.
Oh my God.
In that situation, there is no way. I don't want to sound like low tier god, but the woman is the most powerful person in that pyramid scheme.
We're in the Patreon situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, free. 10-0 matchup. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's got nothing to do with the point Sharpie's making. It's just the fact that it's not as with porn, because porn. I'm sure there's like managers of companies at porn that are female, so they're not getting exploited either.
Absolutely.
They're doing the exploiting.
In fact, a lot of the most successful movies were directed by women.
So yeah, it's a subsection of a subsection, and you're using that section and saying they're getting exploited. It's like, okay, fair enough, there probably is. Like, there's no way we can say they're not, but just like to ban the whole demographic,
to cancel the whole thing is like, okay, cool. There are racist white people. Same way there are racist black people. Fuck it, just don't allow any of them at events.
Find them, get them out.
Pretty much, that's it. But
I'm like Adolf Hitler Jr., bro. When he starts sponsoring, I'm behind you. I'm behind. Like, he shouldn't be sponsoring people, but
I hear that.
Who am I to tell no one not to take his money?
I hear that.
That's totally up to the individual. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's how we would put it. I'm not sure what part of this podcast I'm gonna reply to the tweet with. I'm not even sure she's gonna watch it. I doubt she will. Hopefully she does though, and we can actually have a conversation about it, which would be great. I'm not, and if she comes back with a point that completely stunts everything I've just said, I would actually be more than happy to hear it and change my view on it. So, but we'll have to see if it gets to that.
This is like a small clip, and even the clip was edited,
right?
So there might be things she addressed that we haven't heard. So
right.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm more than sure I'll get blocked, but we tried. So
someone had to say something, right?
Someone had to say something. We were going to be but I don't think. Yeah, this was too heavy on our hearts for us to say anything. To not.
Yeah. even though people did kind of comment on
it
the
was
tweet,
very like
it didn't come across very well.
round the corner, like, hey, I'm not trying to hate you or anything, but you know, just maybe you didn't think about this, and I feel like someone needs to have the approach like, hey, I've heard what you said. This is how I think. I think you need to reconsider. What do you think? You know, no one was very like. I'm not going to say we're trying to be confrontational, but we're confidently starting a discussion. Basically, a lot of people were just like throwing the 2 cents and then running away, which isn't really ever going to solve anything. So.
Nah, yeah, we tried to do this as non-biased and non threatening, controversial, or like attacking Sharpie as we could. It's sometimes hard to, when you talk about someone's opinion, it's hard to talk about the person.
Right, it's hard to challenge someone's opinion and not come across like you're challenging the person.
Yeah.
Which isn't what we're trying to do. So So I guess we can end it there. Thanks for joining me, C4. C4 will be joining me for the next podcast as well. We talk about net player and Skullgos again. Clearly, Skullgos is the greatest fighting game on the planet because it just comes up in every discussion. So,
yep, I agree. All reasons.
Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. Shout out to you guys in the chat: Slade, Dunk, Dark, Tapioca. Yeah, you're right, Tapioca. It does seem like there's more context, but hopefully she'll reply to us and we'll see what she says. But yeah, thanks you guys. I'm not gonna host anyone because this stream was quite not really gameplay based, but so you guys can go to wherever you want. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on KameCast.
Sick.
C4, do you want to plug your stream link? Twitter, YouTube,
if you like, just look for Situation Damage. Just Google it. It will come up with the YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I do Dragon Ball Z stuff. Yeah.
GG 2020.
Oh, obviously, and Grand Blue next year. Next year we'll be doing a lot more stuff. But if you like DBZ, you'll see a lot of UK/EU players on my YouTube and Twitch, where I just do round robin kumites and whatnot. So yeah, Innie's in there. Innie's in there soon.
Snap! 17th. I need to practice.
£100. Yeah, you should definitely be practicing.
Oh shit! There's no way I'm winning that frame delay, bro. There's no way.
Yeah, that Basel matchup is 10.
Yeah, it's 10, bro. Alright, peace out, guys. Appreciate you.
In a bit.